What's going on, guys? Boosted here once again, bringing you another war recap from Ohiowhthse. This time we went up against a clan called the Knights Order, level 8 clan. We had a pretty substantial town hall advantage this war, and it shows up in bully attacks. Shows up in where we can take a higher town hall and step down a couple places and hit a lower town hall and pretty much have a good bit of fun or kind of have our way with the team. It really shows up more so when when you guys have the advantage. Basically, when we can do this in this particular group, it was a pretty substantial advantage for us. Across the map, we had a couple extra 10s, a couple extra 9s, and looking at this war, just right out of the gate, we got 5 town hall 10s. They got 3. We had quite a bit extra 9s versus them. And that's it's pretty hard to kind of combat that and really kind of put those numbers up. But congratulations, good job on Knight's Order. You guys did a really good job putting up some stars. Definitely want to give you guys some props. 2-star in every one of our Town Hall 10s. They only left 1-star on Graham, but all the rest of them, they cleaned up the 9s. So that's pretty solid work. And when you've got the disadvantage of town halls, you probably also have the disadvantage for heroes and troop power. That's an uphill battle for them. So definitely want to give them congratulations and tip my hat to them. Looking at some of the details of the war, kind of really how this boils down. Best attacks, 12 3-stars to 9. They did do a lot more 2-stars, but they had more 2-star ability for bases, so that's why that number's there. And then 1-stars, we didn't even crest that. Overall destruction, 94.87%. So we did pretty good there, but again, that also shines through with a lot of bully attacks. And I'm going to show a couple of them. And then I'm also going to show something a little different in this replay. I'm going to show some of our defense on our side. And the reason why I want to show some defense is there are 2 attacks. They're all done by the same individual. And I really want to show kind of some of the mechanics of that attack and why that worked for them. And looking at that particular individual on their side is their number 10, Sinistro. He had a 6-pack war this time against us on Glenn and Campbell. And I just kind of, not to pick on Glenn or Campbell's bases, not to go on that side, but just to highlight something that we all can learn from, something that we all can kind of take notes from. And what Sinistro did here, he did a very timed attack, and it worked really well. So I definitely wanted to show it, on both sides. But I do want to jump in to a couple of the replays here, going over a few of the attacks. We're going to start off with number 13, which should be Odin. That's what we're going to do here. Odin is bringing in some hogs on this Town Hall 8. If you notice on this base, we'll just pause it here. And he's spread out. He's got most of his defenses in these 4 quadrants. And he's got kind of like a ring style going around the base where you can kind of easily see what's happening. And Odin recognizes that and just pretty much makes him pay for it. So he's getting the lure here. He's going to bring the lure over to the 12 o'clock. Single archer up there. We'll ×2 this. Typical clan castle pull. Drops the poison. Keeps the troops in the poison. Brings a kind of circles a dragon. Gets that down. And then we'll bring it back to normal speed. Now that that's done, he brings in the hogs. Now his deployment is surgical so that he can kind of focus the group of hogs in a counterclockwise manner so that they all converge in the center. And that's what he really wants. He wants all of his hogs to kind of meet up in one big pack so that they move through the base pretty quick. If you notice, single double giant, or single bomb. Check out this heal spell again. Odin's really good at this. He covers all of those defenses where his hogs are so that all of them are in the heal. Second heal spell, right on the edge of the defenses, perfect placement, finds another single bomb. His hogs are still alive. He jumps over, last compartment, last heal spell, and there's just a pile of hogs left. Cleanup wizards come down right about now, and that's kind of where I would probably change a little bit of this attack, and that would be where I would drop the cleanup wizards a little earlier. But, I mean, honestly, is that going to matter? No. Odin's got probably 16 hogs left over. He could have done this without cleanup wizards. Now finally swags the king's ability. He's got a swag poison. It just absolute demolishes this base, and that's kind of cool because again, when you can really kind of hit someone hard like this, makes you smile, makes you feel good sometimes. And good job to Odin for this one. He read it like a book and did a really good job. It's cleanup. I'm going to ×2 it, and they're bouncing over to the last drill. Doesn't swag the poison, and it's a wrap just like that. Good job, Odin. Moving right along, we're going to go to number 6. It's going to be next on the list here. This one, this was a very nice attack, and a couple things I want to show here. Just to kind of pause, and I don't want to sound too negative, but I do want to both show good and bad, both goods and positives here, and I really want to highlight the hero ability, the hero strength. This one is, if I could title this particular attack, I would title this attack Hero Power. And I want to show this because for all those Town Hall 9s who are middle heroes or level 10 heroes, level 20 heroes, this is what you have to look forward to. When the raid doesn't quite go your way, or when it doesn't quite go down exactly like you want to, you have to kind of lean on something. And if you look at the time here, 2 minutes and 56 seconds, that means this raid came down to the final seconds, the final 3 seconds. And when you have to lean on your heroes like this, you will be so thankful that you did the grind, you pounded out that dark elixir, and you did the job. So this base is recognized pretty early as having a really susceptible earthquakes section. You can see right there by the queen where the walls kind of converge. This reads this base and is able just to go straight at it. So the other thing I want to show and point out here is in the funnel deployment. Watch what happens with the elixir storage right there, the one that's under the quake, and watch the wizards. Watch the wizard deployment. We'll start. Okay, we'll stop there. Notice how they were deployed from the outside to the inside of the funnel that's trying to be made. So basically what happens is the wizards are going to attack the structure nearest to them first. They're going to go to that one, and then because they were dropped on an inward pattern, the buildings are going to fall. And in the order they fall, they're going to push the wizards outwards. If you notice now, all the buildings are down in this 6 o'clock area. There's nothing there. They retarget the nearest building, and they fan outwards. Now, the golems are going straight for the wizard tower, and the Valkyries are going straight inside the base, which is a great funnel, but you lose the wizards here because they don't go with the Valkyries. The wizards end up completely splitting off. You end up having one wizard left over, and they all get picked off by archers and cannons and mortars. So that aspect, it's kind of like wasted troops because they weren't funneled properly. But again, how can you critique a 3-star? But this is when you really have to sit down and kind of, as you plan your attacks, focus on what you're using your troop space for and your camp space. So the both hogs come in here from the 12 o'clock area. 3 of them get flipped by a spring. Coming through, you kind of, by looking at the gaps in the base, you're like, oh no, you kind of see what's happening. And then double giant bomb right about there. She prepared for the heal spell, but at this point in time, no more hogs. Skellies are on ground. They're going to finish out the rest of the hogs. And what are we left with? We're left with the heroes. We're left with one heal spell. One archer, one wizard. Now look at this base. 60% of the base has been done. So that means 40% of the base is left. 40%. And at 40% of the base, there's a minute and a half left of this. We're going to times 2 it. King is just punching away over there. Dude, he is doing work. Gets in, we're at 77%, King is now finally down. 78% of this base, right? So that's 21% now. 19% of this base is going to be left up just to the queen. You got a golem, a wizard, an archer, and the queen. And that's why if I could title this replay anything, I would title this replay The Power of My Heroes. They end up saving this raid. Golem goes through, aggro's archer and the Tesla. Just enough to get the queen there. She still got her ability, level 29 queen. Pops the ability, raid over. She goes through the wall, gets a clan castle, and is done. Excuse me. I know this was a sweat. I know this was a sweat job. I know this was a sweat attack because you're like coming down to the last couple seconds. But if I could title this one thing, guys, get your heroes up. Gals, get your heroes up. This is what you're looking forward to when the raids don't quite go your way. And that's important to know when you're in war, is you can rely on those heroes to pull your weight, pull the weight of the attack. Now, moving right along, we're going to go over here on number 4. Now, this is also a bully attack. You know, I want to preface it, this is a bully attack, but this particular base, we'll stop that. Sorry, I need times to it. This particular base is a base that's going to test your funneling abilities. Now, if you cannot funnel, this base is going to destroy you. If you have a hard time with troop placement, with troop mapping, this base is going to destroy you. One of my coworkers used to run this base like every war, and he would talk big game, and this is just not a very good base to run. So If anybody sees this base, you can do exactly what Harvey did here. Structure yourself around a heavy tank squad, golem healer on either side, and just start fanning your troops in. Now, what I want to show here on this particular raid is what he does for the funnel and some of the key factors that he does to save this raid. This is a really good attack. So he brings his golems down, brings his healers down, so that way his tanks will live. Now, when you do that, you want to put the healers and the golems down first. That way they target the golems and stay on the golems. And as you see, they're completely working that whole side. They're going straight across the base. They're cleaning that whole thing. And this is what I really liked about this raid. Jump goes down, 1 Valkyrie to test it, 2 Valkyries to test it, 3 Valkyries to test it. See how they're splitting off? He knows, wait, hold the troops, wait, now drop the troops. They run straight into the base, exactly where he wants to go. So testing that funnel, testing where they're going to go is what saved this raid. You know, because if he'd have dropped all of them and all of his Valkyries took a walk, raid over. Then I have to be punching through the walls. They wouldn't have taken the jump spell. Blah 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 blah. It would have been just an ugly party. But at this point in time, almost everything's dead. He's got his golems running through. He's still got the healers up top at the 11 o'clock, still working down. Queen's still down here, hasn't used her ability. He's got 2 heal spells left, 2 of them. Now I know this was a bully attack, but come on. If you can end up with unburst golems, 2 heal spells, queen ability, yep, doing pretty good. Yeah, I know it's a bully attack, but that's exactly how you want to handle something like this, a base that's spread out like that. Harvey, good job, brother. Awesome attack. Now this is where some of you guys I may lose you. You know, oh, don't show my bases, or oh, don't show the defenses that we get. But we can learn from both sides of this, and that's important, because when you get hit hard, you know, you really want to kind of step back and go, all right, what can I do to improve? And that's what I want to show here. So Sinistro comes in on Glenn, and Sinistro comes in on Campbell. Now Sinistro's at number 10. He comes over at number 9, so he steps up 1 to get Glenn, steps across to get Campbell. Now I want to show this replay, and I want to kind of point out a few things right out of the gate. Now looking at this base, there's a couple things you'll notice immediately. All the air defenses are in the core. They're all equally clumped up. All of his defenses are clumped up. Like, you can look at this base and it's really compact. Now, whenever I read a base that's really compact, first thing I think of is how many air defenses can I get out with a kill squad, or maybe with my queen kill squad. Because if I can take out a couple air defenses, then I'm going in the air, because your balloons don't have to move very far. Or I'm just going to hog the crap out of it because there's no spring traps or double giant bombs. So Glenn, his base is extremely susceptible to air and to hogs, and this is exactly what's going to happen if you keep everything kind of clumped up, keep everything close together like this. You're going to open yourself up to some of these old school style attacks. This is a shattered Lalo, if you'd like to know, and Sinister brings a shattered Lalo for both of my teammates' bases, and he does a really good job. He brings in the Quad Quake. This is something you may call a max attack, per se, where you use most of your spells for your kill squad. And Sinister's game here is to get into the core of this base and take out as many air defenses as he wants, as he can. And usually the rule when you're hitting air is 1 more hound per air defense. So you see 3 on the map, you'd want to bring 4 hounds. Now he has 2 in his army camp. He's probably got 1 in the CC. So that means he really needs to get at least 1 air defense down. So that's the plan. So there's his 2 hounds out. He's bringing the balloons, surgical style, 2 to 3 per defense. If you notice, he hasn't brought in the other hound yet. He's really looking for that other air defense to go down. You got the air skellies in there. It's going to help. The balloons have already kind of moved through. Now it's time to bring in the hastes. So the hastes are going to move the balloons through. The other hound's in now. Queen's moved on to the town hall. She's going to take that down. And at this point, he's got 1 more haste left. Doesn't have much defense left on the base. So he really didn't have to take down any of the air defense. The balloons and the hounds do it. And Sinister didn't get a single air defense down, and the balloons and the hounds handle it. So super susceptible to this, and I just wanted to kind of point this out and show that we can learn from this, guys. So if we clump up our defenses, or if we clump up our air defenses like this, it opens you up. You're susceptible to very specific style of attacks, and good quality attackers are going to be able to read this and pinpoint it and go, that's how I'm hitting your base. You want to make it a little bit harder for them than that. And that's kind of what I'm going for here, is, you know, to learn something from this and to move forward. So we're going to look at another sinister attack on Campbell. And if you notice, he's going to bring the exact same thing. He's going to bring a Shattered Lalo. He has more wizards here. He's only got 2 hounds. Now the idea here, because he's only got 2 hounds, he really wants to get 2 air defenses. Now getting 2 air defenses on this base, pretty hard to do. I will definitely say that this is a much harder situation to get 2 air defense than the last base. But with level 10 heroes, he's still going for it. And you got to give him props, man, for trying. He's going to break it in at 6 o'clock. He's going to break in so that he can get to the queen. Now, if you can quake completely into the queen or the CC like that, you really need to redesign. And look at his wizard placement. So his wizard placement, he only dropped 4 of them. And if you look at this, he only dropped exactly what he needed. Now, I mentioned the wizard placement earlier, where they were just kind of fanned out. And be very sparing with your wizards, guys. Only use the exact number of wizards you need per building. So that way you can bring more troops. He's bringing 21 balloons. 21 balloons. That is a crap ton of balloons. So buildings are down. Funnel goes in. Golems are there. He dropped in a couple wizards on the back end. They're going to run straight through the base. They're going to immediately take out the queen. He's got a poison for the CC troops. All the little stuff comes out. There's a heal for the kill squad. There's a rage for the kill squad. He's bringing a really heavy kill squad here because he really wants to take out an air defense. Now look at where the queen's standing. She's going to get one of those air defense. Now she may have to chew through the town hall first, but she's going to take something down. Now if she walks to the left, it's a whole different ball game. Now look at her. She's walking to the left. So he's already thinking to himself, oh crap, what am I going to do? Guess what? Wizard's taking out the air defense. Here we go. 1 air defense down. Queen steps up. King steps up. Wizard step up. 2nd air defense down. He's only got 1 air defense up. He's got 2 hounds on the map. Whole lot of balloons. Whole lot of balloons. Got 3 left in the bag. Cleanup wizard's still ready to go. Queen hasn't used her ability yet. He drops a cleanup wizards. Game over. 2 hounds unpopped. All the balloons still left. So with this, what we can learn from is watching how an attacker can break down your base. Watching how an attacker looks at what you're doing and goes, he's weak there. He's susceptible to this. And some of the points that we can learn from this particular attack are, if you can get all of your walls down to the core of your base from the outside, that leaves the attacker with more offensive power attacking troops. If he can take out an air defense or 2 with his same kill squad with his CC, that leaves you wide open for a Lalo. Wide open. So I just want to end it on that note, just so that we all can learn and see what's going on. I'm sure I'll have plenty of replays where I get smashed by Town Hall 10s, stepping down for bully attacks. I'm looking forward to that because no base is perfect. I do follow a lot of other YouTubers, and they say this all the time. And it's just, it's a matter of time. It happens. You're going to get hit hard, but as long as we can learn from it, take away from something like that, that's awesome. So to end this, 42-38, Ohio White House with another win, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next recap. Peace.